Welcome to Export Business Mastery for Beginners. In this lesson, I'll be taking you through the terms of payment in international trade. We have a whole lot, but I won't bother you with that because, like I said, we are not giving you the countless document that you have gathered before. This is practical. So I will be sharing with you the three um, most dominated terms of payment about that takes almost about 89% of all the international trade, which is the documentary evidence, the payment in advance, and letter of credit. Okay, so this is the most common payment method. About 80% of all international business transaction are paid through this method. Okay, so for you, my student, anytime that anybody asks you which payment method you want, I don't even really like the open account. So let's focus on these three: cash in advance, letter of credit, and documentary collection. Okay, so cash in advance simply means before you export, just like the name states, they make some payment. Okay, and usually this is done with buyers that you already have some sort of relationship with. In the international business, one key thing that is a dominant factor is fear. The buyers are afraid of the seller. The sellers are afraid of the buyers. So nobody wants to do any cash in advance except when you have built a momentum, you have built some sort of relationship, and somebody can now say, oh, I know this person. I can actually pay for this goods even before I will get the goods. Okay, so to the seller, this is the most secure form of payment. Imagine you have not sent your goods and somebody is paying you money. All sellers will like that, abi? Okay, but it is the most risky for the buyer, so most buyers will not like it. The next one is the letter of credit. Okay, letter of credit means you collect a letter of credit. Usually we prefer an irrevocable letter of credit. Okay, so the buyer will pay some percentage on a letter of credit from his bank, stating that they want to buy goods. So if you are able to meet that requirement, okay, your bank will send all the necessary documents and you get the money. Usually the buyer will have the equivalent of the money, or if not more than, in his account. Okay, so this is very safe, very safe method of payment, but most buyers don't like this because they need to pay some certain commission to the bank, and at times it can be very plenty. Okay, so another one, I said, let's leave the open account because we don't really practice it in Nigeria. So the most frequently practiced, which is the documentary collection. Okay, this one is bank to bank. Okay, it wants to look like cash against documents, where after you have exported, you will now use say DHL or any of the courier company to send the document to the buyer before they'll pay you money. That is very risky. Okay, that is very risky because you may send the document to the buyer. What if the buyer abscond with the document and he doesn't pay you and all that? So instead of doing that, they actually came up with a method where it has to be bank to bank. Okay, documentary collection, it means once you have shipped the product and you have all the documents, you take it to your bank. Your bank will now send the document to the bank of the buyers. Once the bank gets all the necessary documents, the bank will now credit the seller's account. Okay, so that way it is safer. That way it is not hand to hand, it's not individual to individual, it's bank to bank. So one if anybody default, one bank can pay or find a way of covering themselves. It's actually safer. Okay, so these are the three safe payment method that we use in international trade. So there are other kind of payment method, but just like I said in this course, we'll be discussing the one that will try to mitigate the risk as much as we can. So for cash in advance, you really don't have anything to lose. Okay, so they are paying you in advance. For letter of credit, you really don't have anything to lose. It is the most secured. Then the documentary collection, it is also safe. Okay, so these are the payment terms that dominate 80% of the international trade. Okay, so which do you think is most secure term of payment and why? Okay, with you, do you think the payment in advance is the most secure? Because I know internationally the letter of credit is the most secure. But you, do you think you are more comfortable with the letter of credit or the advance payment or the documentary collection? Which do you think is the most secure terms of payment and why? I will see you in our next lesson. Bye for now.